Welcome in here for another edition of the Coach's Corner here on KYNT. If it's not clear already, I am not Bryce Ladwig this week. Braden Butler filling in as Bryce had some prior commitments this weekend. Should still be a great weekend. We're getting down to the end of the spring seasons for a lot of Yankton High School athletics. We have interviews with Brett Syme of Gazelles Golf, Jill Muth of Gazelles Softball, Jeff Gross of Yankton Track and Field, and Coach Ryan Haig of Bucks Tennis, who wrapped up the state tournament in Rapid City yesterday. We'll take a look at how they did here later on the Coach's Corner. One thing we will not have this week is an interview with head coach Drew Lawrence of Yankton Bucks Baseball, but they are currently in Pierre in the super regional round of the South Dakota High School Baseball postseason. The winner of their 3-game series between themselves and the Pierre Governors will go on to the state tournament next week. Game 2 starts at 11 a.m. this morning with pregame right here on KYNT as well as on KYNTV at 10:30. Game 3, if necessary, will immediately follow Game 2 today. If the Bucks win the series, once again, they go to the state tournament. If they lose, they are done. Those games happening out in Pierre. Gonna take our first break here on the Coach's Corner, but when we return, we will have Yankton Track and Field head coach Jeff Gross on the Pizza Ranch phone line, talking about his team, their recent performances in the ESD conference meet, as well as a look ahead at the next week's state tournament at Howard Wood Field in Sioux Falls. This is the Coach's Corner on KYNT. Good morning, everybody. Braden Butler filling in for Bryce Ladwig this week. We'll be back after this.
I am Juan Francisco Duarte, and basketball allows me to show my adventurous spirit. Right after graduating Mount Marty, I was selected to be part of the national basketball team for Colombia. Here, I think, is a great opportunity for me to expand, grow, and also help others to adventure in their journey.
Show your spirit at Mount Marty University and schedule a tour today at showyourspiritmmu.com.
Small businesses are neighbors serving neighbors. Passionate people who give our community character and personality. It's why at F&BO, we're passionate about helping you meet every moment at every stage of your business, with guidance and solutions to help you take your business where you want it to go. Online and mobile banking, payments, lending, transfers and deposits, all made easy and more secure so you can do more. F&BO, big believers in small business. Member FDIC.
Hello, here's to welcoming moments, big and small, embracing the unexpected, savoring life. At Avera, our nationally recognized health system will be right here with you, ready for anything. We listen to your goals and help you achieve them with care and coverage. We'll move you forward through sickness and health and every milestone in between. Avera, moving health forward. Learn more at avera.org/forward.
Olson Pest Technicians is a family-owned business since 1966, and with over 50 years of pest management, they understand your issues, and their well-trained team will help you solve your pest problems. Issues with cockroaches, ants, bedbugs, bats, termites, spiders, rats, mice, or other creepy crawling pests? Give your home a fresh start and use the proven method of fumigation to take care of your pest problem. Olson's Pest Technicians will thoroughly get rid of pests so you can rest easy again. Call Olson Pest today, 800-KILL-BUG. That's 1-800-KILBUGS.
So I switched my insurance to State Farm, and get this. I talked to an actual State Farm agent who lives in my actual town. And get this. My actual agent in my actual town gave me actual help with the coverage I needed. And get this. My actual agent in my actual town who gave me actual help actually knows my name. And get this. They actually say it's called service.
Call State Farm agent Rhonda Westland at 665-4411.
Welcome back in here on KYNT. Braden Butler here on the Coach's Corner. Let's start talking about Yankton Track and Field. The Bucks and Gazelles had the ESD meet last week. The Harrisburg Last Chance meet just on Thursday. And now coming up next week is the Class AA State Tournament in Sioux Falls at Howard Wood Field, May 23rd through the 25th. I had the chance to talk to head coach Jeff Gross of Yankton Track and Field recently at length about the season so far, some key contributors down the stretch, especially this last week at the ESD meet and then on Thursday at the Harrisburg Last Chance meet. And of course, we preview the state meet as well. Talk to Coach Gross over the Pizza Ranch phone line, so let's go to that interview now here on the Coach's Corner. Coach Gross, it's been a busy week. You had ESD meet last weekend, Harrisburg last chance meet on Thursday night, which is just last night as we are recording this. It's all in preparation for the state tournament coming up May 23rd through the 25th. We'll talk about all of that in due time, but first of all, how are you doing today?
Doing well. We've, like you said, we've had a really busy last few days here, and school year always gets busy here at the end for everything. So yeah, it's been very busy, but very rewarding as well the last few weeks.
It's been a busy time for Yankton Track and Field, but your busy week got started last Saturday in Brookings with the ESD conference meet. Talk a little bit about that and where the Bucks and Gazelles finished in those events.
We had a great day. Our girls finished 7th, and our boys finished 3rd. A lot of outstanding performances. We had several individual champions, ones that stick out to me here. Our boys 4x1 had a fantastic day, ran very close to a school record. They were, depends on how you talk about it, they either just tied the school record or just fell short of it by 3/1000ths of a second. I mean, that's how they time Indy cars and NASCAR and qualifying and Formula One, so that's how close that was. Dylan Payer won the mile. Austin Goebel won the 100-meter dash. I think those were our only champions on the day, if I'm remembering correctly, but we had a ton of great performances, both from the Gazelles and from the Bucks. Probably the thing that stuck out to me the most that day was our hurdler on the boys' side, Cale Hazelhorst, took an incredibly horrible crash. Another hurdler in another lane kicked his hurdle over. It went into Cale's lane, and Cale had a huge crash, about as huge as you could get, and came back and ran a rerun and toughed it out and got 4th in the conference. Another one that stood out there in that same race was Miles Dropsman. Miles is a freshman. Cale's a sophomore. Miles got 3rd in the hurdles that day. You know, some young hurdlers there on our boys' side. And then on our girls' side that day, another hurdler, Olivia Dimmer, did a fantastic job and got 2nd in the 300 hurdles and ran the 5th fastest time in the state at that time. But we had a fantastic day across the board. We had about 25 personal records for individual events. Another one that sticks out, a couple senior athletes. Generally, Olivier threw over 35 feet in the shot put, got herself solidified in the state, getting qualified there, and not qualifying for state. But Henry Homestead, senior boy for us, placed, got a medal. That's an accomplishment at the ESD meet. He got to contribute on the team level and also got an ESD medal. Those are pretty sought after.
I had a great day in Brookings last week, and then coming in just yesterday as we're talking, Thursday night as this airs, so a couple of days ago. Another great showing at the Harrisburg Last Chance meet, of course, in Harrisburg. I believe 3 event victories for the Bucks, and then you talked a little bit about youth there when talking about the ESD meet. A pretty young relay team for the Gazelles also won their 400-meter relay, with Olivia Dimmer being the elder statesman of that group, so to speak, with Berkeley Olson, September Rao, and Rosalind Adamson also on that team. So just talk about that meet last night in Harrisburg.
Yep, kind of our average grade there. We've got a 7th grader, an 8th grader, a 9th grader, and an 11th grader. So like you said, the old lady of the group there was Olivia Dimmer, and they almost cracked that 50-second barrier, and those girls ran fantastic. It's going to be exciting for years to come here, and I'm going to touch on some other stuff, too, with the youth of our girls team. We've got some elder statesmen, like you said. We got Shay Rumsey, who 2-time defending state champion in the quarter mile. She's just starting to hit her stride now. She ran great in the 200 last night. I don't know if she'll run that at state or not. We're going to get together and talk about that as a coaching staff, just to get all of our lineup for state situated. Kira Chris is another one that is starting to hit her stride here. She's been battling some shin issues all year, but she's looking good in both of her events, the 300 hurdles and the 100-meter hurdles. Like I mentioned, Jenny Olivier earlier, but we don't have a lot of seniors out. On the girls' side, we got, I think, 5 or 6, but they're doing their part. But we've got some great young girls coming up, both in the freshman level. Our freshman level girls right now are doing a great job. We've got a lot of depth there. And then we've got some really outstanding young kids that we've been able to bring up from the middle school, both on the distance side and in the hurdles with September Rao and our sprinter that you mentioned, Rosalind Adamson. And then last night we also were able to bring up Tyann Bessie, who's a 7th grader, and she goes and solidifies herself in the top 24 in both the 100-meter hurdles and the 300-meter hurdles. We've got a situation in our 300-meter hurdles where we've got all 4 of our 300-meter hurdle girls in the top 14, and we can only enter 3. So pretty exciting that we've got that youth and possibility going forward.
And then on the Bucks side last night, some familiar names getting event victories with Austin Goebel in the 100-meter and Dylan Payer in the 800. But then you also had Abram Chance get first in the 3,200, and then some good finishes in a couple relays as well that ended up top 3. So on the Bucks side, you're gaining a momentum too coming into the state tournament next week.
Yes, definitely, and I'll kind of work backwards through those. Abe last night, Abe Chance in the 3,200-meter run, went out, ran about 75 after 75 on lap after lap after lap, and then was able to finish off the event there, broke that 10-minute barrier. His PR before last night was a 10:09, I believe, or 10:08, somewhere in that area. To shave 13 or 14 seconds off of his PR was incredible. He's positioned himself nicely for the state meet. You mentioned Dylan Payer in the 800. Obviously, that was an impressive time that he ran, about the 2nd or 3rd fastest time he's ever run. He's primed and ready to go for the state meet next weekend to take another dip down there in the open event, and then wherever we end up using him in the relays as well. And then he's also the top-ranked 1,600-meter runner and the 3,200-meter runner going into the state meet. So Dylan's going to have a huge weekend for us. But another impressive thing in the 800 last night was Carson Conway, another senior for us, ran a PR open time. He ran a 2 minutes, .77. Then also like an Ethan Brendan last night, who's a sophomore runner for us. Ethan has come so far as a middle distance runner, works his tail off, just a great young man, great student, just a great quality kid. Lives out on a farm. I mean, just the epitome of that work ethic, because he's oftentimes out bailing at 5:30 in the morning, gets a run in, and then he's in school. I mean, it's inspiring what he gets done. And to see him run last night, he ran a 2:06, and he's going to be a member of our boys 2-mile relay, who have kind of gotten things together here to put themselves into a position where they could place in the state meet. So then another place where it was exciting on the boys' side last night, we were hoping to run our mile relay as fast as we could run it. We had a couple slight hamstring and leg issues that we wanted to protect Connor Flaba and Austin Goebel for the state meet, so we pulled them out of the mile relay. We were hoping to take a shot at the school record, but you know, you got to make those decisions. Last night was not the important thing. The important thing is coming up next weekend. But we still ran a 3:27 with Dylan Payer, and Carson Ness had a fantastic night last night in a couple of different relays that he was involved in for us. And then we also had Jace Sedlacek and Abe O'Brien ran a nice 3:27 time for us. So we're starting to develop that depth where we can, yes, get our points from our blue chip athletes, but we're also going to be able to do some things in some relays with, guys that have put in a ton of work this year and spilled their guts time after time after time, and going to get them some things done and score some points for the Bucks.
Well, we've been alluding to it the whole time, but state meet coming up in Sioux Falls, I believe at Howard Wood Field. You can correct me if it's changed there, May 23rd through the 25th. What are your expectations for the Bucks and Gazelles as you roll into the state tournament in Sioux Falls next week?
I am going to mention at least one more thing before we move on to the state meet, but kind of an exciting thing last night, just the timing of the track meet. The boys' triple jump was still going on after all the track events were done, and Tucker Gilmore, a senior for us, improved his triple jump by almost 2 feet. It was like 1 foot 11 inches, which is a huge improvement, obviously, in any event, especially the triple jump in any one evening. And he PR'd, I think, at least four different times on 4 of his 6 jumps last night. He'd never been over 41 feet, and he made that a habit last night. So hopefully he's going to, I think his final jump was 42.5, but he's hopefully going to continue to maintain that and improve on that at the state meet. But that was sits him about 8th right now in the state, so that was a fun way to end the evening. But so looking forward to, athletes, like I mentioned there with Tucker. I mentioned Jenny Olivier earlier. But we're sitting in a really good spot. Boys, on the boys' side, there's 3 really elite teams this year not in this particular order necessarily, but Sioux Falls Lincoln is just good up and down the board. Got so many sprinters and really dominate on the track. That was what was special about Austin Goebel last night. Winning the 100 was going up against the Lincoln sprinters, and he beat several of them head to head. Lincoln went on and ran the 4x1 last night in a 41.50, which is, that's a collegiate level time. That's just exciting. And then you've also got Harrisburg on the boys' side that's just covers so many events. They've got some really good hurdlers, quarter milers, 200-meter runners, and then they've just got so much depth in the field events that they're going to accumulate a lot of points. And then after a couple of years of kind of struggling a little bit, Rapid City Stevens has kind of got their ball rolling out there again in Rapid City. And those 3 teams have kind of separated themselves for positions 1, 2, and 3. But after that, it's wide open, and I think we're in a good spot on the boys' side to bring home some hardware. And last year, the boys finished 6th as a team. We're hoping to be able to improve on that this year. The girls, like I mentioned earlier, we've kind of got a good mix of those veteran athletes, the Shay Rumseys, the Olivia Dimmers, the Kira Christs, a couple of field events where I hope we can sneak some points in. And then we've got that youth that's coming along. We've got some good relays that we're developing there. Hopefully our girls can finish right in the middle of the pack. There's 19 AA schools. If we can finish 9th or better and kind of be in that upper half, that would be a great finish for our girls this year in Sioux Falls.
All right, Coach, thank you for taking time this morning to talk to me about Yankton Track and Field, a couple big meets, or just recently, and obviously the biggest one of the year coming up with the state meet in Sioux Falls. Hopefully we can get a chance to talk to you again about that with maybe a little hardware coming back to Yankton. Some of these Bucks and Gazelles got real shots to compete at the top level of Class AA, that's for sure.
You bet. Thank you guys for your support of our program.
That was Yankton head track and field coach Jeff Gross talking about the recent meets and the upcoming state meet for the track and field squad. Bucks and Gazelles have had a great year across the board. Now it's time for them to put it all together for the state tournament, May 23rd through the 25th at Howard Wood Field in Sioux Falls. Gonna take a break here on the Coach's Corner and keep it rolling. When we return, we will have Yankton Gazelles softball talking to head coach Joe Muth as they wrapped up their regular season on Thursday ahead of their SODAC 16 matchup on Tuesday. No official matchup set yet. We'll get more into that after the break. This is the Coach's Corner here on KYNT. We'll be back after this.
Small businesses are the backbone of our community. CoreTrust helps your business thrive with checking, online bill pay, small business loans, credit card processing, local approval and support for government grants and loans, investments to grow your hard-earned assets, and insurance to protect them. All from CoreTrust, the community bank that's right down the street and everywhere you want us to be. Visit CoreTrustBank.com today.
Member FDIC.
Vision Care takes pride in the products we offer. That's why we offer a wide range of stylish and protective sunglasses from your favorite brands like Ray-Ban, Oakley, Maui Jim, and luxury brands like Fendi, Gucci, and more. Our experienced team will help you find the perfect pair of sunglasses to fit your face shape, your style, and your budget. Protect your eyes and look great while doing it. Call today to schedule an appointment.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
Is the open road calling your name? Explorers Credit Union is here to put you in the driver's seat of your next adventure with an exclusive auto loan offer. For a limited time, get 1% cash back and reduce your rate by 1% when you purchase or refinance your car with us. Imagine where you could go with extra cash in hand and lower monthly payments. Get pre-approved today and explore the road ahead with confidence. Learn more and apply at explorerscu.com today. All loans are subject to approval. See credit union for details.
Traveling to Yankton for business or pleasure? Then book your stay at Yankton's two best hotels, the Fairfield Inn and Suites and Holiday Inn Express. Both are conveniently located to everything in Yankton. Both offer complimentary hot breakfasts and meeting rooms for business travelers. And if you want a great rate and still be able to change your reservation without a hassle, call either hotel direct. The Fairfield and Holiday Inn Express, two great hotel choices when visiting or arranging rooms for guests to Yankton.
At Triple Time Rudy's, not only do you get top-notch fuel to keep you on the move, but it's a destination for delicious local treats. You'll find quality South Dakota products like Dimmick cheese and premium meats from the Kaler and Renner lockers. It's your community's pit stop for more than just fuel. Triple Time Rudy's supports schools and events and provides fuel discounts to Yankton's largest employers. For all your daily fill-ups and convenience needs, stop by Triple Time Rudy's at 17th and Broadway.
Welcome back in here on the Coach's Corner. Braden Butler filling in for Bryce Ladwig this morning. It's time to start talking about Yankton Gazelles softball. Their regular season has come to an end, but they don't know their SODAC 16 matchup quite yet, waiting on games to be finalized today. There'll be 4 games taking place across Class AA today. After those, the standings will be final. Looking at the Gazelles' regular season as a whole, they ended at 6-12 overall. They did drop their final 5 games of the season against some very tough opponents, including Sioux Falls Lincoln on Tuesday, who's undefeated in the defending Class AA champions, and Sioux Falls Jefferson, who's at 15-5 on Thursday. So it's been a rough end of the year, a lot of tough teams down the stretch. Talking to Coach Muth earlier this week, she seemed optimistic that these tough games down the stretch have helped prepare her team for a postseason matchup. When I spoke to Coach Muth earlier this week, it was over the Pizza Ranch phone line, so let's go to the interview now here on the Coach's Corner. Wrapped up the regular season here recently, Coach Muth, with about the worst draw you could get for the last 2 games back-to-back, a undefeated defending state champion in Lincoln and then another very good team in Sioux Falls Jefferson. So we'll talk about those games this week as well as a preview of the SODAC 16. But before we get into any of that, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Beautiful day, the sun's shining. What more could you ask for, right?
What more could you ask for? I saw the projected high of 90 degrees today. It's gonna be a warm one in Yankton, but the summertime is here, and summertime's a great time to talk about softball, wrapping up the regular season with a pair of games this week. We'll start with Sioux Falls Lincoln on, I believe it was Tuesday. Tough road game there, ended up 12-0 on the road, but that's a Lincoln team that has not dropped a game to anybody this year and coming off of their state title last season. That's a tough matchup for anybody in Class AA.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we knew they were good. They got a lot of good hitters. Their pitcher's been phenomenal. She's had a great year, and we knew going in that was going to be a tough one for us, and obviously, it was. But, we gave up 9 runs, I think, in the first inning, and was a little bit tough getting out of that first inning, and then, the game ended up 12-0. So the next, 3 innings, we only gave up 3 runs. So we settled in a little bit, and to be honest with you, defensively, I thought we did a pretty good job. Offensively, I mean, their pitcher pretty much contained us. We had a tough time getting any hits, but she's good. But I was overall, defensively, I was happy with how it went.
And then coming off of that game against Lincoln, yet another tough matchup. This one at home, at least against Sioux Falls Jefferson. That one ended up in the Cavaliers' favor as well. That game ending 10-1 to wrap up your regular season. Sioux Falls Jefferson, another very good team, 15-5 on the year. I believe currently 3rd or 4th in Class AA standings. A very good Class AA again this year, as it seems to always be. So what did you learn in that game heading into what will now be the SODAC coming up on Tuesday?
Yeah, we were right in that game. After 2 innings, it was 0-0. After 3 innings, it was 2-1. And then, at the 4th inning, it got away from us a little bit. We ended up giving up. I can't remember if it was 6 runs or 7 runs in the 4th. And so, but we, I thought we hit the ball hard. Cameron Kletzky had a few hits for us. We did some okay things, and then defensively, again, we were better. I mean, I would say our last 2 games defensively have been our cleanest 2 games of the year. So that's, for me, feeling good about that coming out of our regular season to be looking pretty good defensively.
Coach, as we turn our attention to the SODAC 16 here, final standings aren't set. Still a couple games to be played today before those standings are finalized, as this is airing on the Coach's Corner. But at the time of recording, in 12th in the SODAC, it would be a matchup with number 5 Brandon Valley on the road in Brandon for a SODAC 16 matchup that is still subject to change. So can you just give a kind of a general overview of how you're feeling about your team heading into the postseason, and what are some things you've learned this season about your girls that you're really proud of?
Sure. We matched up with Brandon. We played them first game of the year, got beat 7-4. But, it was a game. We were ahead up into the 5th inning. So I'm feeling like that's a pretty good matchup for us, and, go up there and, see what happens. I think that's a game we could go steal and get ourselves in the state tournament, which would be a fun way to end our season.
And then with this season as a whole, heading into as you've wrapped up the regular season now, what have been some points in the regular season that really made you proud of as a coach of this team this year?
Yeah, you know what? My kids play hard. They're aggressive. They're intense. They're aggressive. They're always playing hard, and they're always trying. We really have done a good job of staying positive and cheering for each other, whether it's 10-1 or 1-10.
Well, Coach, thank you for your time today. Good luck to your team in the SODAC, whether that's Brandon Valley or if the standings change and you get a different matchup. And hopefully next time we talk, we're talking a state tournament preview as well for you guys.
Yep, that would be great. Appreciate your coverage, Braden. Thank you.
That was Yankton Gazelles head softball coach Jill Muth. The Gazelles don't know their matchup quite yet in the SODAC 16, but all that will be finalized today. Those 4 games happening around Class AA today. Those are Sioux Falls Roosevelt against Rapid City Central, Sturgis Brown against Mitchell, Rapid City Stevens against Brookings, and Sioux Falls Washington against Pierre. We'll go to another break here on the Coach's Corner. When we return, we will have Yankton Gazelles Golf and head coach Brett Syme on the Pizza Ranch phone line. This is the Coach's Corner on KYNT. Back after this.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Don't gamble. Insure with MTRC Smith Insurance in Yankton, your independent agent for home, business, auto, life, and bonds. MTRCSmithInsurance.com.
Attention homeowners, if you've been on the fence about selling, I'd love the opportunity to sit and visit with you. With low inventory, now would be a good time to call me, Deb Speck at Vision Real Estate. I'll provide you with a free market analysis and a no-pressure approach. Call me at 605-664-5555 to find out if now is the right time to make a move.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
You feel awful. Stuffy nose, then runny nose. Sniffles too. You don't know what to take to make yourself feel better. At Yankton Rexall, when you feel under the weather, we want to help. But there are a lot of over-the-counter choices. Some may even interfere with the daily medications you're taking. The Yankton Rexall staff is there to help you make the best choice for your health. Yankton Rexall, your hometown pharmacy since 1923.
Women, have you had your annual exam? With May as Women's Health Month, Yankton Medical Clinic OBGYNs remind you to prioritize your health so you can continue focusing on the health of your family. No matter the stage of your journey, pre-pregnancy, pregnancy, motherhood, or menopause, Yankton Medical Clinic OBGYNs are the women's health experts. Call to schedule your annual health check today or visit yanktonmedicalclinic.com to schedule online. So much care, so close to home.
Welcome back in here on the Coach's Corner. Braden Butler filling in for Bryce Ladwig here this week. Let's turn our attention to Yankton Gazelles golf. They have the most time left in their season of any spring athletic at Yankton High School, with their state tournament not taking place until the first week of June. They recently took part in an invitational in Brookings and finished 5th out of 13 teams. That was back on Thursday this week, shooting a season-high 351 as a team. A season-best 351 as a team, I should say, led by a 9th place finish from Elia Homestad. Talk more about those results in this interview with Yankton Gazelles head golf coach Brett Syme, as well as a look ahead at what's next for this Yankton team. Back-to-back events at home at Fox Run Golf Course happening early next week, including the ESD Conference Meet. Let's go to that interview now. Coach Syme, it's been a busy time of year, both on the course and off of it right now with school year winding down and you as an instructor, but it's been interesting here as of late, finishing 5th in a meet recently in Brookings and having a couple top 20 finishers individually in that one. You got a home meet coming up, plus ESD. So it's a busy time of year all around. How are you doing today, and how are you handling that busy time?
Well, it is kind of a crazy time, last day of school and all. But, it's a fun time of year, and we're getting into our kind of what we consider the postseason now for the golf. But yeah, our girls went out and played really well on Thursday, and we had our best meet of the year. So what a great time to have that happen is, coming up on our big tournaments, coming up the conference and the state here in the next couple of weeks. But we shot our best score by 19 strokes, shot a 351. Our best score before that was a 370, which was in the first meet that we had all year. And so it was great to be able to have that on a good quality golf course like Brookings Country Club. We were led with a 9th place finish by Elia Homestead, shot a 79. Very capable of breaking 80. I was glad to see her do that. Maybe get some confidence going into the conference this next week. And then in a tie for 17th was Sabrina Kraske, shot an 85. Great to see her get under 90. And in a tie for 30th, we had Bailey Anderson shooting her personal best ever, a 90. And Madison Reichen shot a 97 in a tie for 44th. So to have all 4 of our girls under 100, it was a great tournament for us. We did have 2 other golfers. Jordan Cunningham shot a 106, and Olivia Chipman put together her best 18-hole round of her career too, shot a 107. So again, just a really successful tournament for us, and it's a good tournament to get us maybe a springboard into the conference that we have this next week.
Yeah, a busy start to the week. I know, luckily for you guys, it's all at home. All will be at Fox Run Golf Course. Got a quadrangular, I believe, coming up on Monday, and then, of course, ESD on Tuesday, both at Fox Run. Tell me a little bit about those as we're heading up here. I know you guys seem to be clicking at the right time.
Well, on Monday, we've had 3 tournaments canceled because of weather earlier this season. We wanted to try and get another tournament in so that we could get some girls some qualifying scores. And to do that, we got to have 4 teams in the tournament. So, we invited some of the ESD schools to come down, basically a glorified practice round for the conference. And Aberdeen Central, Mitchell, and Brandon Valley all decided that they'd come and play on Monday. Give us another chance at qualifying. So, as of right now, we've got 4 girls qualified for the state tournament. We're hoping to maybe get a 5th. But, we got to go out and we got to play well. And Mitchell and Aberdeen, they're the class of the AA girls right now. They're going to be tough to beat, but it's going to be great competition for us going into the Tuesday conference meet. At both of these are going to be at Fox Run. I got to thank Fox Run for hosting both and being gracious enough for to let us play out there both of those days.
And how important is it to have both of these meets back-to-back at home? I know sometimes these tee times can be really early in the morning. It cuts down on your travel time and everything else. And also it's a course that, in theory, the girls should know well.
Yeah, it seems kind of weird, with all the weather that we've had this spring. We actually haven't had that much time to actually play at Fox Run. We've gotten some practice in out there. We've got a few different times where we probably played the front more than we have the back, but we've gotten out on the back a couple of times. So, it'll be great to be able to get out and compete on Monday before we have to play the conference on Tuesday. And I think that'll be a really big deal for us to play a competitive round on Tuesday before the conference meet on Tuesday. just a big deal because the conference meet is a big meet, not in numbers, but just in meaning. You know, we always want to do the best we can when it comes to the conference tournament and getting to play at home and having some good course knowledge and getting to practice out there all the time. You know, hopefully that'll lead us into, playing the best we can. And it's going to be hard to beat Mitchell, Aberdeen, maybe even Watertown, but I think we can battle with those other teams, and if we can play well and up to our capabilities, we can maybe fight with all those other teams and hopefully maybe get a fourth place finish, because I think our girls are very capable. We just have to play up to our capabilities.
Well, we got a busy week coming up, and with the ESD meet, that does not signify, I should say, the end of your regular season. I know you got another last chance style meet in Brandon, and then the state tournament at the start of June. Yep. So still plenty of golf yet to be played this season. But good luck to you and your team, Coach, these coming days right here at home at Fox Run.
All right, thanks a lot, Braden.
Big thank you to Brett Syme for taking time out of his day to talk to me about his Yankton Gazelles golf squad and their impressive performance on Thursday out in Brookings. Once again, they shot a team best 351 as a team for this season. They were led by a 9th place finish from Elia Homestad, and Sabrina Kraske tied for 17th. Also for Yankton, Bailey Anderson shot a 90, and Madison Reichen shot a 97. They do have that home quadrangular at Fox Run Golf Course on Monday, followed by the ESD Conference meet on Tuesday. Taking another break here on the Coach's Corner. When we return, we will talk about Bucks tennis. They just wrapped up their state tournament, and they had an athlete finish as a runner-up in his singles flight, Miles Kraske in Flight 5. We'll talk more about that when we return, as well as an interview with head coach Ryan Haig. All that coming up here on the Coach's Corner on KYNT. Good morning.
The other day, a gal came into the UPS store to drop off a package. On her way out, she noticed the print sample wall and asked if we could print invitations. The answer was, yes, we can. Hi, this is Doug at the UPS store in Yankton and Vermilion. For over 7 years now, the UPS store has been helping hundreds of customers with their printing needs. From basic copies to business cards and invitations to posters, we can print them. Stop out and ask about our current print specials and see how we can help with your printing needs.
Sports injuries can be the result of competitive activities, but can also happen by just participating in leisure activities too. If you're experiencing pain as the result of your chosen activity, consider chiropractic care. I'm Dr. Mackenzie Erlinson with First Chiropractic Centers. We have experienced chiropractors that work with sports injuries every day. Our treatment options are aimed to minimize pain, reduce recovery time, and reduce risk of future injuries. Visit First Chiropractic Centers, making life better, one adjustment at a time.
Ground beef is only $2.99 a pound at Hy-Vee. That's not a sale price. That's the price with the Hy-Vee Perks membership. And $2.99 a pound is not just the price today or this week, it's the Perks price every day. With the Hy-Vee Perks membership, you can save on hundreds of products store-wide every time you shop, and count on Perks prices to stay the same. So if you want to pay less for ground beef every day, sign up for Hy-Vee Perks. It's free and easy. Some restrictions apply.
Hey, why are you in the garage?
This storm is bad. I'm worried about the garage doors.
Come on, what could happen?
A lot. Hail could dent the doors. Like that. And high winds could bend the doors or even break them. Like that.
So when that happens, what happens?
You call Upper Midwest Garage Door.
Upper Midwest Garage Door offers reliable storm damage repair for residential and commercial doors. We're an authorized Clopay dealer serving eastern South Dakota. Visit us at uppermidwestgaragedoor.com.
Everyone loves something different about our buffet, which is good because buffet has something for everyone. This is Annie from Yankton Pizza Ranch. Come in and fill your plate with good food that makes you feel good inside. Don't see your favorite pizza on the buffet? Request it using Buffet Your Way. We'll make it, bake it, and give you the very first slice. Grab the country's best chicken paired with tasty sides and finish off with sweet cactus bread at Yankton Pizza Ranch.
Welcome back in here on the Coach's Corner. It is time to talk Yankton Bucks tennis. They wrapped up the state tournament yesterday in Rapid City. It was a great showing for the Yankton Bucks team. They were led by a second-place finish in Flight 5 singles by Miles Kraske. Did get a chance to talk to head coach Ryan Haig earlier this week previewing the state tournament, so you can get a look at his thoughts heading into the state meet that they just wrapped up, as well as an overview of the season as a whole up to this point. Let's go to that interview now before we give you the results from the state tournament on the other side of this interview with Coach Ryan Haig on the Pizza Ranch phone line, recorded earlier this week. Coach Haig, got the state tournament coming up on Thursday. Every Buck made it for singles play and then doubles play as well in the top 6 flights and the top 3 flights for doubles. So before we get into any of that, how are you doing today, and how excited are you heading into the state tournament?
Yeah, I'm doing great, and everybody loves postseason play, and that's where we're at. And we work hard all season long to kind of get to this point, and our guys are feeling good, and I think we're in a good place, and it should make for an exciting state tournament.
And the Bucks team has been playing well all year long, so let's recap the regular season a little bit. You can correct me if any of these numbers are wrong, but 20 wins, I believe, only 3 losses all season in head-to-head matchup play against other schools. It ended with 3 straight dual victories, and I believe 10 of the last 11 or something like that as well. So it was a very good end of the season, and just a very good coast-to-coast season so far for the Bucks.
Yeah, one of the main goals that we have every single year is 20 wins on the season as part for duels. And anytime you can put a 20-win season together, dual-wise, that you've had a very, very successful season. So it's been a goal of ours every year that I've been coaching. We've only done it a couple times throughout the years. We had a 22-win season a couple years ago when we won the state title. This year would have been another 22-win season had we not got snowed out early in the season against Vermilion and Sioux City Heelan. So great season for the guys, great dual season for the guys, no doubt about it. We had our ups and downs. I don't think we played as well early in the season as we are right now at the end of the season. So that's the way you want things to go. You want your players to start to peak at the right time. I believe our guys are doing that. They've been doing all the right things in practice, and they've got the right mindset to have a very successful state tournament.
And, that success throughout the season, especially the hot stretch to end the year, is reflected in a lot of the seeding. In singles play, I believe, out of 16 total seeds, the lowest seed that any Yankton Buck is the 7th seed, so you're in the top half of all of those, and I believe the same is true in doubles play. So you have your guys clicking at the right time, and they're all in the upper half of their flights. So if there's any, with your guys who are going this year, if you had anything to point out with them, things you've been most impressed with this season from them as they've really battled through.
Yeah, I think we have 2 or 3 number 3 seeds in singles. We have several 4, several 5 seeds, and we only have just the one number 7 seed at flight 3. So I think it really does. It shows that the body of work during the season is very important, and I think that the body of work that our guys have put on the court, has been very good all season long. And, it's helped them out as, the postseason here. So, you work all season long to try to get those, higher seeds in the state tournament. When you start talking 1, 2, and 3 seeds, those are usually pretty much gobbled up by the Sioux Falls schools, Sioux Falls, Lincoln, O'Gorman, and Sioux Falls, Washington primarily. So, anytime you can sneak one in there, we have I believe Miles Kratzky at number 3. I believe, Luke Moeller at flight 4 is a number 3 seed. So you start taking those guys and you start snatching some higher seeds away from them. That goes to show you how successful a season those guys have had. We have several 4 or 5 seeds, and when you talk about a 4 or 5 seed, it really doesn't matter if you're 4 or 5 because you two are going to meet each other in the quarterfinals anyway. We've got a 4 or 5 seed with Zach Briggs at red top, number 1, flight 1 for us in singles. We have a 4 or 5 seed also with Harrison Kratzky at number 2 singles. I think Chris Rockney is a 7 seed for us. And I think Ethan Marsh down at number 6 is a 4 or 5 seed for us. So, those guys are going to have, good state tournaments. They're going to have to go out and they're going to play well. Majority of the quarterfinal matches would be expected to be seen with other ESD opponents. So they're going to be rematches from throughout the season. We put a little bit of a bullseye on our back. People recognize the Yankton team when we come to the courts now because we've had quite a bit of success here in the last several years. So, with that comes a lot of responsibility, and those guys have to understand that, people are gunning for us. And, people are going to try to put their best product on the court every time they step on the court with us, because they know, if they don't, there's a pretty good chance that Yankton's going to come out with a win. So, we have to go in, we have to replicate a very successful ESD tournament that we've just had. When you're playing top level opponents pretty much back-to-back weekends, things get pretty tough, and it can get pretty tight, and it gets difficult to replicate this, a perfect match. And if we've played perfectly throughout the year, if we had a perfect match against a particular opponent, trying to replicate that here at the state tournament is sometimes it's a monumental task. And our guys are going to feel a little bit of the pressure, but I think that Coach Briggs does a fantastic job working with the mental side of the game with the guys, and as well as the details of the game. And I really believe our guys will be ready. Looks like the weather is going to be pretty nice, and we're just all around excited for the state tournament and that postseason, and hopefully have a great time out in Rapid City and send these kids off to summer vacation on a high note.
They say pressure makes diamonds, and a couple back-to-back high-pressure scenarios with ESD recently, and then now going into the state tournament against high-level competition. I know we talked about the seedings and such for singles play, but in doubles as well, Yankton has some high seeds. Zach Briggs and Harrison Kraske are the 5 seed in Flight 1. Christopher Rockney and Luke Moeller are 7 in Flight 2, and Miles Kraske and Ethan March are the number 3 seed in Flight 3. So I know we talked a little bit about singles play and how these guys are pushing through. Give a preview of the doubles side of it as well.
Yeah, up at the top at Flight 1 with Harrison and Zach, they kind of started the season off a little bit slow and a little bit rough, and just weren't quite clicking for whatever reason. And to be perfectly honest, we really don't know why. Yeah, those guys have been playing together with each other for several years now, and and just something was off. And they took a couple losses earlier in the season that probably kept them out of the top 3 seeds for the state tournament, and but it is what it is. The good thing is those two guys are playing as about as good a tennis as anybody in the state right now. They are really clicking, and they are really pouring it on here at the second half of the season. At Flight 2, Chris and Luke, they're first-year guys as far as their first year playing together as our Flight 2 seeds. So, they've had a few bumps in the road, and they're still trying to find trying to find their groove and working together, and their communication skills while on the court in the doubles game is so very important. And at times they've had very flashes of brilliance, I'll tell you, where you say, wow, these guys are really coming along. But then occasionally you'll see that where we'll look at each other and say, where'd that come from? And hopefully we don't see that again, because along with the flashes of brilliance, there comes, some questionable strategies and some questionable techniques. But, those guys are, as dangerous as anybody on the court. When they put it together, they're very tough. So, we're looking forward to, try to get a couple early round wins out of those guys and keep them on the front side of the bracket just as long as we possibly can. And then at Flight 3 has probably been our steadiest team all season long as far as doubles go, with Ethan and Miles. Those guys just, very quietly had an outstanding season. Very, very few losses in the season. They've beaten some big level opponents. They're just, of course, led by the senior, the one lone senior on the team, Miles. And, those guys they're just clicking. They've gelled together as a team. This is their second season playing together, as a team, and you can tell it. Ethan is just a beast up at the net, just loves being up there. And Miles is kind of the field general out there, just kind of tells Ethan from point to point where he wants him to be, what he wants him to do. And Ethan is a sponge and just, loves to listen to Miles, and just kind of soaks up all the knowledge and encouragement that Miles is constantly feeding to him. And, they've been a fantastic team for us all season long. And, they're going to have some tough matchups. There's no doubt. They're going to have a tough matchup probably against Brandon Valley in the quarterfinals. That was a tough match. Kind of it was a back and forth match at the ESD tournament just a week ago. And so, that's something that they're going to have to try to replicate. So, but those guys have been there before, and I have no doubt that they'll be able to get through this one. And, doubles is where it's at. There are a lot of points in the doubles team, and our guys have to show up, and they have to be focused, and they have to play some good doubles to get us anywhere near the top of the podium team-wise at state tournament out in Rapid City.
I liked what you said a little bit at the end there, talking about the duo of Miles Kraske and Ethan Marsh. And comparing Miles to a field general. I know being the only senior on the team, he has that seniority and that leadership. It also probably doesn't hurt that he's qualified for the Olympics now, might carry a little more weight when he says to do something. He's like, this guy might know a little bit about what he's doing.
Yeah, there is no situation that you can put Miles in that he hasn't already seen 100 times. And, he's felt a lot greater pressure in a lot different situations on the badminton court than he ever will see on the tennis court. So, you're not going to phase this kid. You're not going to intimidate him, and he's not going to feel the pressure, and he's playing for fun because, this is all gravy for him. His number one is badminton, and as well it should be. And, he's gone through some awful tough qualifying and awful intense type situations through that qualifying that have really made him what he is on the tennis court today. We're super excited to have him on here on our team. I'm glad our guys don't have to step on the other side of the net from him because you can't shake the kid, and he's going to have a fantastic send off in Rapid City. Last time stepping on the court for the wearing the Bucks red and black. So we're looking forward to some big things, and we're going to miss him next year. That's for sure.
Big thank you again to Ryan Haig for taking time out of his day to talk to me on KYNT, and a congratulations to him and the Yankton Bucks as a team. Looking at the individual results, Zach Briggs finished 5th in Flight 1, Harrison Kraske was 3rd in Flight 2, Christopher Rockney had his tournament come to an end in the 5th place semifinals. In Flight 3, Luke Moeller finished 5th in Flight 4, Miles Kraske was the runner-up in Flight 5, and Ethan Marsh was 4th in Flight 6. That's all in singles play. In doubles play, Zach Briggs and Harrison Kraske were 5th in Flight 1. Christopher Rockney and Luke Moeller were eliminated from the tournament in the 5th place semifinals of Flight 2, and Miles Kraske and Ethan Marsh finished 3rd in Flight 3. Another excellent showing for a Yankton Bucks team that returns a lot of their players next year. Only Miles Kraske will be graduating this year. The lone senior on this Bucks squad gets to leave, finishing 2nd in singles play and 3rd in doubles play, ending a impressive high school career for a guy who's going to the Paralympic Games in the summer, heading to Paris, France to compete in those on the badminton court. So great with Racket Sports, Miles Kraske. Congratulations to him on his finishes and the entire Yankton Bucks program. Going to take one final break here on the Coach's Corner, come back and wrap everything up when we return here on KYNT. Good morning.
Medicare coverage is not a one-size-fits-all coverage. Do you like to travel? Are you wanting to spend your winters down south? Or just spend some time with your grandkids? Make sure you choose a plan that fits your needs and will travel with you. Visit Julie at Missouri River Associates to review your upcoming Medicare or your current needs. That's Julie at Missouri River Associates, 665-6885.
Is the open road calling your name? Explorers Credit Union is here to put you in the driver's seat of your next adventure with an exclusive auto loan offer. For a limited time, get 1% cash back and reduce your rate by 1% when you purchase or refinance your car with us. Imagine where you could go with extra cash in hand and lower monthly payments. Get pre-approved today and explore the road ahead with confidence. Learn more and apply at explorerscu.com today. All loans are subject to approval. See credit union for details.
Hey, why are you in the garage?
This storm is bad. I'm worried about the garage doors.
Come on, what could happen?
A lot. Hail could dent the doors. Like that. And high winds could bend the doors or even break them. Like that.
So when that happens, what happens?
You call Upper Midwest Garage Door.
Upper Midwest Garage Door offers reliable storm damage repair for residential and commercial doors. We're an authorized Clopay dealer serving eastern South Dakota. Visit us at uppermidwestgaragedoor.com.
Welcome back in here for one final time on a Saturday morning. It's the Coach's Corner. I am Braden Butler. Big thank you to all the coaches we talked to today. That's Ryan Haig, Jeff Gross, Jill Muth, and Brett Syme. And a good luck to Drew Lawrence and his baseball team as the Bucks are trying to punch their ticket to the state tournament. Game 2 of that 3-game series starts at 11 a.m. this morning. 10:30 pregame right here on KYNT and KYNTV. Game 3, if necessary, will immediately follow. Tal Tanner will be on the call for those baseball games. Thank you all for joining us here on the Coach's Corner. I won't steal Bryce's line word for word, but Go out there and enjoy the Bucks and Gazelles. Go support them in all they do, and go have a great weekend, everybody. Until next time here on the